Welcome to DJ E360 World. How is your day going?
It's going well.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
excited to be here.
Yeah. Waiting for the winter or sad the summer was gone.
I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for fall, actually. It's my favorite season.
So you don't like winter at all?
It's okay. But I like fall because you can dress up and everything. The winter is too cold.
Yeah.
It's too cold. You want to be at home.
Cool. Let's go back. This is your first time here.
Yes.
Let's go back, to the beginning. So, where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Cameroon.
Okay.
I came to the States when I was about 6 or 7. I was pretty young.
Hmm.
And I've been raised in Maryland like ever since. I haven't lived anywhere else.
Okay. So, how was that original upbringing for you? The upbringing, from 0 to 7 in
Right.
Cameroon. How was it? Was it very peaceful, a war zone,
Mm.
or
So I'm lucky enough for my family to be pretty well off back home, so not anything crazy.
okay?
I was young, so I didn't know a lot when I came here, but growing up was okay. I did lose my brother like
Okay.
around middle school, so that was a traumatizing time for me. But
Okay.
other than that, growing up was pretty fun. Yeah, I have a big family, so it was fun.
Okay. So how do you mean by big family?
I'm one of 6.
Whoa.
Yeah, 5 now after my brother passed, but 6 altogether.
So, how many brothers? How many sisters?
So there's 3 girls,
Okay.
and there were 3 boys, so there's 3 girls and 2 boys now.
Okay.
And I'm right in the middle.
That's typical of an African family, though.
Yeah,
I have a big family too. We were like
Yeah.
probably 7.
yeah.
we're
It was
7.
fun, huh?
Yeah.
Growing up.
Not that fun, but yeah, 8.
Yeah, you learn how to deal with different
You learn how to deal with
personalities,
it.
so I feel like it's cool. Yeah,
So
I
many
definitely
had,
learned a lot.
And how was the music influence as far as you growing up? Did any of your like folks like play in a band or
Mhm.
your mom's sang in the choir? Or how was that upbringing?
Okay, so no one in my family besides one person actually does music. That's my cousin. But my inspiration as far as music, I've always loved it.
Hmm.
When I came here, I was always in choir or chorus,
Okay.
and I've been writing since I was young. I remember one of the things I did in elementary school actually was a talent show.
Oh, okay.
And that was awesome. And I barely remember, but I just know that I had fun. So
Okay.
yeah, it's my inspiration. Music has helped me a lot in my life, so I can't be without it.
Okay. For some people, it's more like a therapy, though.
Exactly.
Just
definitely.
writing alone is kind of
Definitely.
let you bring whatever is bugging you inside
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
And
It's
put on
definitely
wax.
therapy. It's
Okay.
definitely therapy.
So,
for me,
we all. I'm an immigrant myself. So, how
Mhm.
was that transition for you coming from West Africa to here, as far as the language and the environment?
too. So language, I think I picked up a little bit quicker just because
Okay.
since I was young.
Hmm.
But it was okay as far as like there's things I didn't like, African booty scratcher, like the
Yeah.
jokes when you're in elementary school, middle school. It was not really easy, honestly, at all,
Yeah.
especially because you're trying to fit in. There's points where like I used to lie
Hmm.
about my ethnicity. Oh, I'm Dominican. Like I used to lie, and I'm really really happy that I grew up and
Okay.
realized and was just confident in myself
Mhm.
because that was a hard time. It definitely was a hard transitioning
Transitioning.
period for sure, but I understand because it's an education thing,
Okay.
Out here there's not a lot of good things said about Africa most of
Yeah.
the times on the commercials. It's like you see sick children
Yeah.
or so I'm just glad that I grew out of that because now we're lit, like everybody you
Yeah.
hear Afro beats, so yeah, but it was okay. It was pretty rough though, but I just got through it because
Okay.
what can you do?
As far as the culture shock, though, like what
Ooh.
can you pinpoint exactly to say?
Culture
Oh,
shock.
coming from that environment to the U.S. Okay, that kind of like make you scratch your head as
Oh,
far as the
yeah.
environment here.
Yeah, I remember it was snowing, and I had never seen snow before. I had never seen snow before. I remember my dad like took me out, and we were just in front of the apartment,
Yeah.
and I was just, what is this? Like I was
Yeah.
all excited and stuff. It was definitely a cultural shock. Like
Yeah.
besides the exciting stuff, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. I always say back home is my home. I was born there.
Mhm.
But here's my home too. You have to you get Americanized as you get
Yeah.
older. So I always say I'm Camerican. I'm a citizen now, but I'm Camerican. So I never try to forget my roots because it really makes you who you are. So
Okay, so when did you decide to actually pick up the artistry as far as singing and rapping?
I think it was in high school. I
Okay.
did go through a lot in high school, so I used it as therapy. Mostly I was writing and writing and writing and writing. I didn't really get into the studio until like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And before then, I was just very shy. Like I kept it to myself. Only some people knew that I actually like had a passion and wanted to be an artist. As far as like from the outside, mostly it was just like choir and stuff. But the artistry, definitely during high school.
Okay. So did you take any music class
Yeah,
in
I
high
did.
school?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was in something called Chambers,
Oh.
and it's like a music class where you learn about music, you sing, you guys have performances sometimes,
Yeah.
and like you learn notes and stuff like that.
Okay. So do you play the instrument?
No, I tried though. The last time I played an instrument, I think, was in middle school. It was like the violin. But
Oh,
after
yeah,
the,
yeah,
after that,
Yeah.
I tried to do piano. I remember I was always told like if you have long fingers, you should try. But
Yeah.
I maybe I'll try another time. But as of right now, I just want to focus on like my voice as my instrument. If you want
Okay.
to say that.
So have you taken any vocal
No.
lesson? No.
No,
So
I
it's so
haven't.
you're saying that's natural, or singing in the choir maybe?
Yeah, I would actually call that. I would call that vocal training for
Okay.
sure. I haven't taken any like one-on-ones though. No.
Okay. All right. So for some people it comes naturally though.
Yeah.
Well, and other people got to develop that. You
Yeah,
know?
I think for me it was natural and development because I feel like when you can sing, you could have a good voice, but when you're actually in learning and
Yeah.
like in a class and you're taught, okay, this is soprano or this is alto or this is, so you kind of learn more, but I haven't had any one-on-ones now.
Okay. I mean, learning the mechanics of it kind of helps
Oh, for
on
sure.
the bigger scales. Like I don't know if you watch The Voice,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
when
it's a
you
good show.
listen to those guys sing, like that's a different level of singing.
Oh,
It,
yep.
it gives you goosebumps
Goosebumps.
when you hear them sing. Let's talk about the actual artistry, right?
Okay.
The creating process. Where do you get the inspiration from?
So I do this thing where I go on YouTube and I look up beats. And I don't really like to plan before unless sometimes I'm in a mood and it just comes. But if I hear a beat and I feel it and it just comes naturally. Like I
Okay.
usually do like a mumble first. So I'll go through the beat and I'll just like mumble and then I just start writing.
Writing.
And that's kind of where I get inspiration. And also, when you're listening to other artists as well, you might like their flow. I like to study, I like
Okay.
to study the game. So you learn their flow and like you're like, okay, I want to have my own sound. I always
Yeah.
thought I could never really like rap or anything like that because my voice is very, kind of smooth. I'm not very aggressive. So I
Yeah.
thought you had to be aggressive. But I realized that's not what it is. Like you have to find your niche, so that's what I'm doing now. But inspiration, I love beats even. Anything music. So if
Okay.
I hear anything, I just start writing.
So where do you draw the inspiration from? Like, what are the topics do you like talking about? Love, pain, uh, you know, niggas doing bad shit to girls or whatever. What is the topic of your,
I think
the
everything.
inspiration?
I think everything. Love, niggas, struggling. Like
Okay.
I feel like I write about kind of everything. So inspiration is more so what I go through, experiences. Anything in my music, I always try to say like you'll never hear things that are really fabricated. It's either how I feel, something I've done, been through, what I
Yeah.
want, and yeah. That's the inspiration, I guess. I can
Okay.
talk about all that though.
As far as the writing process, though, how do you go by writing? Like, do you write everywhere, like in the shower, just like putting words together, or it has to be a dedicated place where it's very quiet, birds are singing, and then with you and a paper and a pen, then you start writing, or you can write in the metro, or is that how is the writing process for you?
So I used to write like pen and paper
Okay.
in my notes in my journal, but I don't do that anymore because my mom traumatized me. One day I came in like all my stuff was thrown away, and I'm not
Why?
even joking because she was like, "This is devilish music. What are you doing?" African moms. I love her though, but she threw all my stuff away. So now I actually write in my notes.
Okay.
So anywhere, like if I feel something or like I think about it, I just start. It's just kind of natural, so I just start
Yes,
out loud
yeah.
if I'm in the shower, in my room.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like writing my notes for now. But
Okay.
I'll probably get a notebook too, because Apple, you can lose all that if I don't back up
Okay.
my phone.
So the writing process, though, do you polish whatever you write initially, or that's the initial vibe that you get? Because some people just don't polish it at all. You know, it's
Mm.
whatever comes out
Mm.
that goes on tape,
Mm.
and that's it. They don't polish it later on. They don't, rewrite it, whatever the case might be. It's just like one take, boom, let's go, another
Right.
one. Like, how is that process for you?
So I do both.
Okay.
So first I just do like kind of like the in the moment, and then I go back, and then I
revisit.
either take
Okay.
this out. I want this. This will sound better. Yeah. So I do like that first, and then the polish
Okay.
after.
Let's talk about the recording process.
Mhm.
What do you have to have in the studio for a good session?
I feel like when you're singing, if I'm singing, I don't have anything besides water,
Okay.
because I don't want to go through the
Yeah.
whole training
Okay.
myself to know how to be vocally good when you're drunk. I don't want to do that. I like to really be focused, so I wouldn't drink or smoke or anything if I'm gonna sing. Rapping, I can maybe take like a shot. But even then, like I try to be as sober as possible, just water and my music.
Okay, so do you like to have your homies, like your homegirl around, or just you and the engineer?
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
For like these last 2 studio sessions, I've had my friends. I think also just to get more comfortable, and I think for the next ones though, I'm probably gonna be by myself. You know.
Okay.
But I can do both. I like having my friends there too, especially like for like a song that's like hype. You know, it's fun to see their reactions and get like an opinion.
I mean, do you like taking input from people, or if they're not in that creative state of mind? Because some homegirls probably might just be like friends hanging
Yeah.
around. If they're not into the artistry, they might not have the vibe and the flow to help you
Right.
out. But do you take like feedbacks from people, or it's just like whatever you come to the studio with, you go with?
Yeah, so whatever I come to the studio with, I go with.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll like send my cousin or something, oh, like this sounds good, or me
Okay.
just in the process of
All right.
writing. I take constructive criticism from anyone, honestly, just because I feel like, you can learn anything from everyone. But when it comes to music, I feel like if it's not someone that's actually in the business or has done it or has experience, I won't actually take it into consideration with my music. But I'll still listen to criticism.
So you tend to
take
trust
it
more of your instinct more.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. So as far as role models, right? If you have to name a couple of people you're looking up to right now in the industry, who are they?
Ooh, that's gonna be easy.
Megan?
For sure. Heck yeah. I'm a
Cardi?
hot girl. I'm a hot girl. Definitely Megan. Always Nicki Minaj. I love her.
Yeah, successful.
Yeah, so those two, you said three?
I mean, you can name whatever though.
Okay,
That's
so
many.
Okay, Megan
Yeah.
Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. I love Aaliyah. Rest in peace to her.
Aaliyah's dope.
I'm like a '90s, 2000s type of person. So R&B. I love Foxy Brown,
Foxy, crazy.
TLC, Little Kim,
Yeah.
Jay-Z. Like I just love. Yeah.
So
love
are you
them.
trying to say that your music's gonna reflect those people? Like a combination of the singing and the rap and
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I'm going to definitely be doing both.
Okay.
Even though I do rap and I sing, I'm working on meshing them together.
Okay. Let's talk about your team dynamic right now. Like, what is your team is looking like right now? Like, do you have any dedicated producer? Do you have uh, a studio you go to, a specific studio you go to? Like, how is that team dynamic for you?
So the studio I go to right now is called Red Space Entertainment. It's in Rockville. Love them. I am working with 2 producers there. One, his name is Andre, and the other one, his name is Iconic. As far as team, I don't really have a set team, but that's definitely my studio of choice for right now.
Okay.
And I'm working into like finding a videographer, photographer, and stuff like that, and producers. But right now I'm just focusing on building my craft and perfecting it. So I'm not too worried about that. But studio and producer, definitely them.
Okay. So as far as the legal side, do you have any entertainment lawyer?
No,
Not
not
right
yet. I'm doing my research though to know everything that I need to know about the music industry for sure.
Because I try to raise the awareness of that too, because the intellectual properties is where you guys gold mine is. If you don't protect it, some people are gonna run away from it. And you might not see the proceed of your hard work.
Right.
So I try to raise awareness of that, people to look into whatever they're signing as paper
Mhm.
and whatever they're putting out, like protect your intellectual property because you don't
Yeah.
know what's
People
gonna
get
happen.
scammed out here
It
a
might
lot
get
in the
picked up
music
by
industry.
a big uh, company as a commercial. Guess what? That's a lot of money.
Mhm.
It might get picked up. The song might get picked up by a TV station. That's a lot of
Mhm.
money. But if you don't have the right paperwork,
Mhm.
they're just gonna compensate you for a little bit of money because your
Right.
name is not big. And guess what?
It's kind
That's
of
the
gone.
opportunity right there.
Mhm.
So when it comes to the network and the social media you have in place to showcase the music, what do you have?
Mhm. So as of right now, I'm using mostly Instagram and like my business pages, Snapchat, those regular social medias. I don't really have like Apple Music or
Hmm.
Spotify. I'm working on going that way too, but I do have SoundCloud as well.
Okay,
I've built a little bit of a following, like 200 people, but
it'll come.
yeah, I'm working on that. My social media presence, I try to be very, very active all the time.
Hmm.
I'm pretty used to it already because of my other like businesses and stuff, so I know what to do. But right now, like promoting and stuff, I'm doing it all myself. I'm reaching
Okay.
out to people and working on getting on the radio, stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot of research since I
Okay.
know I am by myself right now. I don't have
Nice.
like a manager.
So as far as the system you have in place, I know your song's about to come out, so you haven't performed the song yet. So in the future, like what are you thinking about doing? Like open mics or
Mm.
going to talent show or
Yeah.
what is our plan for you?
So that's also something I'm researching too. So looking like a lot of places in DC, since
Hmm.
it's kind of like a hot spot in the DMV, places where they have upcoming artists as well, like they allow them to showcase their talent.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that, and also open mics. I feel like anything is an opportunity, so I don't like
Okay.
to turn things down. But obviously, I review it and everything. But yeah, I'm looking into doing that for sure.
Okay.
I would love to do that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as far as the music, right, it costs
Mm-hmm.
money.
Oh yeah.
So how are you generating the money to support your studio
Mm-hmm.
expenses?
So I.
Personal or
Mhm.
the studio is sponsoring it or
Mhm.
how is that dynamic for
So definitely personal.
Okay.
Everything is myself. I have a 9 to 5, and I also own a business. And I was in school for aesthetics, so I
Hmm.
got my license as a lash tech.
Okay.
So I do work on the side to be able that excuse me. I do work on the side so that I can invest it into my music for sure. So
I
that's
mean, we,
how
we
for
all
right
have a
now.
9 to 5, so you
Right.
shouldn't feel
No, no,
until
oh,
you make it. You know
oh
what
no, I don't
I
feel bad at all.
mean?
I don't think it's a bad thing to have a nine to
Yeah.
five. I think everyone should. Everyone should have that
Yeah.
experience too. I love my 9 to 5 actually.
I mean, you
You
how
know,
to.
just paying
Don't
my
like it, see what's
bills.
gonna happen.
I'm gonna be broke.
Dating, right?
Mhm.
What is your what do you look for when you date?
What do I look for? Are we talking
Okay, let's
personality?
talk about the physical attribute.
Okay.
Like, does it have to be tall? Does it have to be African American, white,
Mhm.
or it doesn't matter?
Mhm. So
It's like,
honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you because some people are really surprised. Like,
never. Be honest.
no, I am. Be honest. So, I actually don't really have a type. I don't really have a type. I don't exclude race. I don't exclude,
Yeah.
If I'm attracted to you, that's what it is, honestly. Like, I've had exes, like, I had an ex that, like, laughed at, oh, let me see what this person looks like. Oh, I would never see you with that guy. I'm like, because you weren't with him, I was, you know what I'm saying? I don't really, as far as physical, I used to be like, oh, this person has to be this.
Yeah.
But I feel like when people limit themselves, you're never going to find, like, that person. Because you're already in your head, like, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you. Who am I? So I like to go with personality, honestly.
Okay.
And if our personalities mesh, I may not even be attracted to that person right away, but the attraction comes after,
Okay.
You can be attracted to someone that you never even thought you would look twice.
Yeah. It happens. It happens
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
As far as the physical attribute, though, I'm trying to see.
I do like tall men. I'm not gonna lie, because I am
Okay.
tall.
Okay. Now we're
But I have
talking.
dated someone that's like a little shorter than me. Yeah.
Okay. So as what I've seen lately, right? Because
Mm.
most women tend to like guys with beard and
Mm.
beautiful eyes. Maybe
Mhm.
you have tattoo.
Yeah.
Probably you like guys with tattoo. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I like
Yeah,
tattoos. My ex had no
yeah.
tattoos. Like If you're attractive, you're attractive. Tattoos are definitely sexy, though. I love tattoos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to the first date, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do? A
For the
walk in the
first date.
park, coffee shop, a dinner, or like what is your preference if you have to
Choose.
choose?
Um, I'm very artsy.
Okay.
So like I like museums or something.
Oh, okay.
Something where it's not like so much and like I feel like people try to overly impress.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can make it even awkward for you because you're trying to make sure everything. I like to do something where like I can get to know you and like talk. You know, like we can even if we're going for a walk, we
Yeah.
can get ice cream or something. I'm not too complicated, but
What do you mean by overly impressed, though?
you know, like
Give it,
let me give you an
give it
example.
again, give it
Let me give you
again.
an example, right? Like sometimes you can tell, like when like I've been on a date before, and a guy like he wanted it to make sure like this is exactly we get here at this place we do this, which is fine. I appreciated that, but like I feel like when you're so into like, oh my gosh, I wanna, you know when people say simplicity is
Yeah.
like the best, you can tell when someone is very. I don't know how
Or
to
trying
explain
too hard,
it. Trying
maybe?
too hard.
Oh,
I
okay,
guess I would
let's
say
suppose I come
trying
up,
too
you and
hard.
I
But I
have a
understand
date.
because you're on a date. You want to impress the person. I just feel like it can make it awkward because I'm going on a date and I rarely go on dates. I don't even know how to date for real. I'm not gonna lie. But if I'm going on dates because I want to get to know you. But like if I'm not getting to know you and like I could tell you're like, oh my god, like it's
Yeah.
gonna be like I'm not gonna be not want to date the person anymore. It's just I feel like simplicity is the
Yeah.
best.
So
I
if
had
I
to
show
choose-
up right now, you and I we're going to a date,
Uh-huh.
and I show up with roses and chocolate, is that too much?
Oh no, that's sweet.
It's
That's
not
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah, I'm talking more so about like how the person is acting, like not
Okay.
what they actually do,
Okay.
but like how you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not good at explaining.
So if
things.
I show up in a suit, would that be okay?
Oh, it's
Oh,
hot.
yeah.
If a guy is wearing it's because like a guy you're trying to if you look good you feel good.
All right. So have you ever been in a catfish situation? I mean, it's today's
Wait,
age,
explain
right?
the question.
With the dating apps. By the way, do you like dating apps?
Yes and no.
I mean, it's normal now.
Yeah.
It's-
Yes, I like them. I feel like in a lot of times it's like out of boredom, really, and it rarely goes anywhere
Mhm.
else. That's why I'm like iffy about them.
Mhm.
But in general, I do. Yeah. I have a couple. I won't say them, but I do have some things.
I mean, it's I don't know why some people kind of feel shy, about that, but
I don't know.
it's
And why?
it's a new age.
Yeah.
know,
Everything's on
it's-
social media now.
It's a new age. So, what is your now the first date? You go to the first date, you
Okay.
get to know the person. So, how what is that relationships like for you? Like, how do you like to handle the rest of the first date after that? Who
What
calls
do you
who
mean?
first?
If the first date goes well, honestly, if I go on a date with someone, we've probably already been talking for a
Okay.
while, so I could call the person if they want to call me, they could call me. I don't really have like a routine. But if I'm not interested and the date didn't go well, I don't completely close the person
Mhm.
off. I'm not also going to be like calling them like, oh, let's do this, let's have a second date. Yeah.
Because I'm a
they
guy,
go,
right?
you
I'm a
know?
guy, right? If you're a guy, you probably understand.
Oh, of course.
You probably understand that rejection is normal to us.
Oh,
I wish I
really?
got a shot of rejection when I was born. Then I shouldn't be feeling it anymore.
Stop.
It's natural now,
Yeah.
right? Because some people claim that you're not supposed to call the girls back after like maybe 3 days. You don't want to sound
Really?
you don't want to look too
You guys
needy.
have a rule?
You don't want to look too needy. You don't want to look too thirsty. Like so many
Right.
mechanics around it that I try to understand the dynamic as far as the lady's
You know what
perspective.
it
You know what I
is?
mean?
You guys need to be going on dates with the right person. That's what y'all need to do because I feel like guys are. I've noticed this about
If
guys.
I call you next day, am I too thirsty, or do I have to wait a week, or what?
It depends on who you went on a date with. That's why I say like one thing I've noticed about men when it comes to dates, since you bring it up, like I feel like guys ask anybody on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's like, oh, we should go out sometimes. We should do this sometime. The girl, I know we're women, but it could be a serial killer. You don't even know like who you're talking to. So I feel like I don't know. I'm not a guy, but I'm not even opposed to asking a guy on a date.
But that's what we're supposed to do, though.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's our
but
natural
you guys
instinct.
shouldn't be like,
Right.
oh, there's a 3-day rule, you know. Know who you're going on a date with. That's what I will say.
Okay, that's the moral of the story,
yes,
right?
Know
who you're going
on a date with.
All right, so as far as marriage in general, what is your opinion on it?
Marriage.
In general, you know.
Okay. I want to get married. I know that in the future, but I feel like I'm not opposed to not getting married, honestly. As a woman, I feel like we do have a lot of pressures, you know, having kids and getting married, and like, you know, especially when you're from an African background too, even more pressure.
Yeah, it's
I
more
feel
pressure.
like, or any culture really.
Yeah.
Most foreign cultures have that pressure on women. You know, me, I don't even know if I want kids. Like I know definitely not right now. That's something maybe in the future, but I also wouldn't die if I didn't have a kid.
Okay.
You know, and like sometimes that's weird for people to hear because you feel like you're a woman, you have to be nurturing, and like, you know, I could see a kid and like have baby fever for 5 seconds, but I won't be like, I want one right now. You know, even if I had a boyfriend for 10 years, you know. But marriage, I feel like some people get married just to get married, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I feel like some people, marriage is it's not a game, you know. It's not like a boyfriend and girlfriend situation. Yeah. You could be together for how long, know the person. You could get married and it doesn't work out. Yeah. So I feel like legally, money-wise, if you're really going to make that, you know, agreement and that what's the word? What is the word when you
the union? Maybe?
That union.
Yeah,
if you're gonna make that union and you're gonna make it on paper, it's not we're gonna break up, then you have to work through it. You know, if you choose to get married, you have to work through that. But I love marriage. I love love. So not
meet today, go to Vegas tomorrow and get married.
Exactly. And then
people do that though, and I don't understand it.
I don't know either. Some people
and they will divorce a week after. Which is, I don't know. It's crazy how people get married that fast.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So let's transition to some honest fact, right? Because everything we do is based on our emotions.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the negative emotions first. Oh, what is your biggest fear right now in life?
Not succeeding.
Not succeeding. Okay. So how do you handle jealousy?
Jealousy, like, what do you mean?
Oh, how do you handle jealousy in general? Because we're...
Like, if I'm jealous of someone?
Sorry,
like I don't understand the question.
In general, in a relationship or whatever the case might be.
Oh.
Because jealousy, if you look at it, sometimes it's not that negative. It's not that negative as an emotion, because it triggers something out of you that makes you react to. It probably might be a bad situation or a good situation. So how do you handle that emotion?
I'm a talker.
Okay.
Some of my exes like that, some didn't, but I like to talk about things. I'm kind of those people, I can't go to bed mad. I can't go to bed upset. It doesn't matter what the situation is, I want to talk about it. I want to go, even if you're telling me, cursing me out, like, I'm a listener, so like, you could do all that, but I'll listen, you know, and then we could talk about it. Jealousy is very normal, I feel like. Jealousy, you could walk down in the street and be like, oh my god, they're so cute. You're jealous for like 2 seconds, you know? And like, if you're in a relationship, I feel like something you should talk about. It's very normal. Some people think it's bad, but there's like an emotion underneath it. So.
Okay, so are you a revengeful person?
In my head. In my head.
So you're gonna tell me you never get anybody who pisses you off? It's natural too, though. You know what I mean?
I have for sure.
Okay.
But like to do like the most worst stuff is in my head. You know, the most I've done is like I dumped like a water bottle, a gallon on a guy. That's it. Cause I'm not an aggressive person. Why does it have to be a guy though? Because of my ex. Oh well.
And what did he do? Did
he drowned. Anyway.
How do you handle greedy people around you? How do you channel those people? Like, how do you
I don't really know anyone that's greedy. Maybe in the future I will. But I
cut him off?
No, I'm not in the loop, really. I'm like, I would like to say there's this meme I saw, like, being a popular loner. I don't even know if I would call myself popular. But I know a lot of people, but I'm not friends with a lot of people. You know, I have a tight-knit family because I call my friends my second family. So usually I'm away from negativity. I'm not. Last time I had drama was in high school.
Okay.
You know, I don't do the mix.
All right. So how do you handle anger?
Mm.
Stress, meditate,
I'm a
talk.
Cancer, so I'm so emotional.
Okay.
Um, if I don't cry out of anger, then I'm just gonna sit here and look out the window and just.
Okay. I mean,
like
it's all about how you handle those things
Yeah.
that matter, though.
Yeah.
As long as you don't
If
go
it's not
kill
mu-
anybody, which
Yeah.
some people do,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know, just
But actually
look through your
handling
window.
it, probably music. But I don't
Okay.
get angry for too long.
Okay.
Honestly, if anything, I get more upset and like sad before I get like angry.
Mhm.
But before, I'll be honest, like I went through my own like mental health stuff. I was like diagnosed with like depression and anxiety when I was in high school. And, you know, in our like black community, African
Yeah.
community, that's a sick like a. It's not normal. Not that it's not normal, but like stereotypically,
Mhm.
we don't really believe in that,
Yeah.
and that's a whole different topic. But it's very important to me, mental health, because people go through a lot up here,
Yeah.
and you would never know. And I've lost people to suicide. Like, yeah, it's a soft subject, but it's definitely something that I learned
Mhm.
and had to grow through
Mhm.
and learn how to, you know,
Like handle.
find my own
Okay.
coping mechanisms,
Yeah.
because the medicine and all of that just was not for me.
Yeah, it makes it
you know,
worse.
it makes you even worse. You know, so over time, I used to be like I'll hold everything in, and then like at home, like even punching walls. I'm telling you, like I was on like I used to get in fights when I
Yeah.
was younger, all that stuff, because I've always felt like I kept everything in,
Mhm.
you know. And then sometimes when someone pisses you off, like when I was younger, I might not even be looking for it, but then you just let out all your
Yeah.
emotions, which is not how you should cope with life. So, yeah.
That's good. So let's talk about the positive stuff now.
Yes.
Do you believe in love in
Yeah.
general?
Yeah.
What is true love for you?
True love is unconditional love.
Okay.
And I say that because even my exes, who I might not be with, I still love them. It might not be the same. You might have done the worst things to me, but in that moment, you know, I loved you. And I feel like true love is unconditional love.
Okay. So, how important do you think intimacy is in a relationship?
Intimacy, like physical intimacy?
Sex.
I think it's important, but
Okay.
it shouldn't be the number one thing. I don't feel
What
like.
do you mean?
I don't feel like, because if I can't.
That's
I'm
the
being
reason why you and
serious.
I we here, though.
I'm being
The reason why
serious.
you and I we here is because of that energy, though.
What do you
It's
mean?
because of that sexual energy. That sexual energy. That's the reason why you and I we here. That's what makes the world go around.
But that's not what I
if
mean.
it's not number
I
one,
mean, but it's not. It shouldn't be number one. If I'm gonna be in love and in a relationship and committed, I could be able to go 6 months or a year without having sex with you and still love
it's
you.
gonna be a problem.
No, it's gonna be a. I'm not saying I want to do that, but I'm giving an example. Sex is not everything.
Okay.
You know, like, you know, a lot of men, I feel like, I'm sorry to call y'all out, put you on the spot, feel like a woman can, like, you can't have sex with someone and not feel anything after.
Okay.
I can do that. I can hook up with someone and not want to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Sex is more than just sex for me. Like, if I'm giving myself to someone,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's a lot. I'm an energy person. I'm a vibe person. I'm very spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
That's not saying I'm opposed to sex. I'm not. No, I don't. Everyone likes sex, love, you know. But as far as relationships, I don't really date in the way of like I'm gonna be committed. I've only had 3 boyfriends. I mean, I'm only 21, but I do not want to feel like I'm an object to my boyfriend. You know, I don't want to feel like if you don't have sex with me, you don't. You know, like. Come on, you know, you have to be stronger than that. So I feel like, yeah, sex is important.
So it's
You
more of
should have-
like like you say, it's more like channeling that sexual energy, like contain it to the right person, I guess.
Yeah,
And-
no, that's not what I'm saying, because I feel like, I mean, anyone, do what you want to do. I'm talking about as far as relationships. You shouldn't be in a relationship where if you guys aren't having sex and you remove all sexual, everything, what do you guys have? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So when it comes to, are you a hopeful person?
Hopeful?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you get to that, you know, state of mind? Do you pray?
I don't pray too much, honestly.
How do you keep
I
that
just-
hope alive?
I write things down a lot.
Okay.
I kind of try to speak stuff into
Into existence.
existence.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I am.
All right. So, what is your greatest desire right now?
Mm,
If you have to desire one thing right now, what will it be? Success?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, Honestly, no. Let me just say happiness.
Happiness?
Happiness. I'll say genuine happiness. And
Okay.
that success comes with it. But I just want to be happy in anything I'm doing. Like, I want to, that's why a lot of times, like, it was hard for me to tell my mom that I wanted to do something different,
Mhm.
that not go to college, or I went to college for a year, but I wanted to leave and
Mhm.
actually pursue my dreams.
Okay.
So I feel like my number one thing is being happy. You
Okay.
know, people do things, go to school for stuff just because their parents
Yeah.
or put that pressure. I want to love what I'm doing so that it doesn't feel like a job. You
Okay.
know, like right here, this interview, to some people that are in the industry, like they're doing it either for not the right reasons or don't have a passion. This I love this, you know,
Okay.
because I love music. So.
All right. So, are you an optimistic person?
You have to explain that. What do you mean optimistic?
Optimistic
What does
person
that mean
means
again?
it's more of like being hopeful too, but
Okay.
it's more of like taking a very positive outlook as far as everything that's happening to you. Like always think positive. You know, never think anything negative about what's really.
I try to be, but I don't like to be fake. So
Yeah.
I feel like with whatever I'm feeling, I deal with it myself
Okay.
first. So I don't really think I stay away from bad energy. I'll
Okay.
say that. But optimistic and being all the time like I have to be positive and no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. How big is loyalty for you?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge, yeah. Huge, yeah.
It's
I
the
mean,
foundation to everything, I guess.
to everything. Family, friends, relationship.
So let's talk about money.
Okay.
So what did your parents teach you about money growing up?
Mm, Honestly,
Save,
not a
maybe?
lot.
Yeah.
My mom and my dad didn't really like sit me down, and it's more so my older brother. He taught me about credit, building my credit. Um, I would say my mom taught me to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to spoil us a lot, so she was kind of the person that had to be like, no, like
Yeah.
she needs to work for this. My dad was kind of more soft. I feel like sometimes people think the woman is more soft. My mom was kind of the one to be like,
Yeah.
no, like they need to work
You
for
work.
it. Don't just give, 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 give. So that she definitely taught me. But technically, like actually, like saying, okay, credit is important.
Mm-hmm.
My older brother for sure. So.
Okay. So when you get to make it, like what
Mhm.
how are you planning to invest the money or what are
Mhm.
I know you have a business.
Mhm.
So are you looking into the real estate maybe? Are you
Mhm.
planning to invest in the real estate or the stock market?
Mhm.
Like how is that a prospect for you? Like
So there's an app called Acorn.
oh you have Acorn?
Yeah,
Oh
I
okay.
do. So I try to I'd really say I haven't really done too much of my research right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in maybe investing in real estate
Real
because it's
estate.
very, very
It's
it's
very
it's a good
lucrative.
thing, really
Very lucrative,
lucrative.
yeah.
So but as far I really want to invest in myself, my business as well, because
Yeah.
even when I do music, that could take off. I also want to have all my passions,
Okay.
So I still want to be a business owner as much as I can.
Maybe your cosmetic
Property,
line
real
maybe.
estate, exactly, stuff like that.
Okay, so are you planning to get involved with any philanthropy work, like building school in Africa
Hmm.
or any of those kind of
So one of my biggest dreams actually has always been to go back home and like build houses.
Okay.
I want to build real estate for sure, and I also want to open like a children's hospital or
Hmm.
like an orphanage as well.
Okay.
And but it might not be doesn't have to be in my country, just my country,
Hmm.
but my country is where I'm from, so that's where I want to go first.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I mean, you talk about is that a part of you talking to me earlier about empowerment, women
Hmm.
empowerment?
Hmm.
Is that are you going towards that route because of that, or are you planning to do something specifically for the women, like
I
school,
don't have
or?
any plans specifically for a
Because the
woman.
reason why I'm saying that is because
Hmm.
Oprah, going to Africa and then building school for younger girls and all of
Hmm.
that stuff like that. So
Well, I'm including everybody.
okay,
I don't. I'm definitely I feel like a feminist, but I'm not like a just a woman.
yeah,
I have brothers, I have uncles, so I try to include everybody.
okay,
So it's not going to be It's going to be inclusive.
okay.
bitches bad, we get ratchet. You know if we going out tonight, there'll be a riot. Too pretty in the face, we never fightin'. Anybody mad, them hoes is probably hatin'. Hey, we don't need a nigga, not for nothing. Girls got degrees, double D's, our own money. If I make 100, she make 50. Finesse him out his cash, and then we flip it, flip it, flip it. We collect the bags and go invest it. Flip it, flip it. Throwing money at these strippers, they can flip it, flip it. All my bitches bad, we get ratchet. You know if we going out tonight, there'll be a riot. Too big in the hips, your nigga staring. You feel some type of way, bitch, I would be embarrassed. Step your game up and maybe he won't want it. No, he wanna taste, but I can't let him. Send them bottles all the way to our section. He thinking he can fuck, but nigga know I'm focused. I just wanna flip it. Flip it, nigga, how you eat and why your man is starving? Flip it, flip it. Oh, you must be broke, cause all y'all niggas starving. All my bitches bad, we get ratchet. Yo bitch sending threads, better prep a casket. Fucking a t-shirt, her face will get blasted. Got goons in places, you will never guess them. Yeah, I ain't gotta touch her, that's the scary part. You will never know, boo. Ain't in my nature, yeah, they'll get you touched. Talking too much, roll me a blunt. Hey, bitches, all my bitches bad, we get ratchet. You know if we going out tonight, there'll be a riot. Too pretty in the face, we never fightin'. Anybody mad, them hoes is probably hatin'. Ay, we don't need a nigga, not for nothing. Girls got degrees, double D's, our own money. If I make 100, she make 50. Finesse him out his cash, and then we flip it, flip it, flip it. We collect the bags and go invest it. Flip it, flip it. Throwing money at these strippers, they can flip it, flip it. All my bitches bad, we get ratchet, get ratchet.